Video game journos are complete and utter jokes, and there are tons of examples as to why we point and laugh at them constantly. And the latest is from The Guardian, as they've given the Silent Hill 2 remake a 2 out of 5, complained about the quote, sexualized monstrosities roaming the streets, but it turns out this journo has no real experience in the video game industry. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I just love opening up a review, seeing a 2 out of 5, and going, wow, that's a really bad review. I wonder why they did not like this. And it's not for legitimate reasons. Now, I personally played through the Silent Hill 2 remake, and while I enjoyed the story, of course, enjoyed the atmosphere, I still felt like it was lacking. First of all, I don't think that this is a remake that deserves a $70 price tag. I faced a lot of bugs, I faced a lot of technical problems, and I just couldn't rate the game super high because of that. But I had no problems with the story. I really had no problems with the pacing. My issues solely lied in the remade elements, such as the environments, again, that made it hard to pick up items sometimes, nothing to do with the story. And this quote, journo, had tons of problems with the story. Honestly, the only thing that they really crap on is the story, which is still fantastic within this game. And I just love clicking on a review and seeing nothing about technical problems. They simply want to complain while completely missing the point of this story. So it's titled Silent Hill 2 Review. Psychological horror remake leaves you lost in the fog. This person says that they're lost by, in my opinion, a relatively easy story to grasp. Now, I of course am not going to read all of this but it's by an author named Rich Woodsworth, which of course sounds like a completely fictional name, but if you go to his LinkedIn and you do just a little bit of research, he is not somebody who talks about video games. He is not an expert in anything related to video games, entertainment, or even storytelling. He says that oh, his expertise is in future health, artificial intelligence, so this is probably an AI written article, machine learning, robot human interaction, infectious diseases, pandemics and epidemics, defense, air power, nuclear deterrence, future warfare. He says his top skills are in things, again, like future studies, AI, collaborative robotics, bioethics, bioterrorism. He is not somebody who writes about, like, video games or cares about video games at all whatsoever. So opinion immediately discarded, but reading this, you can see why he's such a massive clown. He admits in here that he never played the original and that he also completely missed the point of this. He says right at the bottom, Silent Hill 2 doesn't feel refreshed. It feels like what it is, a game from the early 2000s. He really just wanted a completely modernized game. With the monsters and the puzzles to match, Resident Evil still makes sense in glorious remaster-o-vision, but I imagine the slow-paced psychological horror would have felt more unsettling in PS2 era blunt polygon. So he has no clue about the source material. He's never played Silent Hill 2. And it just goes to show that he should not be reviewing this game. But a major issue that he has for this game are the sexualized monstrosities. This is a big reason why he's saying it feels so outdated. The not quite zombies start out as giggling acid vomit sacks of giblets and thongs and platform heels, and then evolve putridly through different archetypes of female sexiness until pairs of thighs and stockings are chasing James across the ceiling and hooting like howler monkeys. Silent Hill 2 isn't even a graphically pretty game. To the developer's credit, it now looks 10 years old rather than 20, but the monsters get special mention for being as stuck in the past as James is. Now, these, quote, sexualized monstrosities that they're talking about are a very important part of this story, because we've known this since 2001, that they are an extension of James's guilty desire for sexual pleasure while his wife was sick and dying. It's like Maria, the reason why she appears to be so sexualized is because of the same thing. That's why the nurses in the game are extremely sexualized, because he was constantly looking at nurses and just thirsting over them while his wife was dying in a hospital. So that went completely over his. I bet if you asked him, like, why Laura was in the game, he'd be like, I don't know. She's just an annoying kid. Laura exists as his conscience. She is an extension of his conscience, but it doesn't seem that this person is really able to, dissect storytelling at all whatsoever. And again, like I said, I do have some problems with this remake, primarily a lot of technical difficulties, but the story itself seems to make a lot of sense to the average person, even if you hadn't played Silent Hill 2, except for this guy. This is the problem with video game journalism right now. These people are hacks. They have no idea what good storytelling really is, and that's a big reason why so many people were upset with them desexualizing some of the characters and the creatures within the game, because it is such an essential part of the story. Now, this person clearly does not care about video games, like I showed based on his LinkedIn. It's not like he is somebody who has any expertise in entertainment or storytelling. And when you admit that you haven't played the original, it really just leads to us thinking that you are a complete and utter fucking hack. And I had made a post about this over on X, and that's exactly what's happening. People are pointing and laughing at him. I swear these people get these jobs thinking it will be easy money. They talk out of their ass and are shocked when the community they are writing for thinks they are incompetent. Very true. Tourists always self-report. This guy is nuts. This is why MSM rags like The Guardian are circling the drain, because they don't hire competent employees. They only hire people who push the message. Makes me sad. I have a huge collection of video game magazines, and they're fantastic. I really used to look up to these writers. Yeah, there used to be writers within the industry who did not hate our guts and actually knew about the games that they were reviewing and the things they were talking about. But when The Guardian hires people like this, all we can really do is point and laugh. And this is why I would not care if tomorrow the Polygons, the Kotakus, the Gamers, the Guardians magically disappeared, because these people are not providing anything to the industry. All they do is insult us. All they do is belittle us and put out pieces like this that are self-reporting, that they have no clue what they're talking about. And this is really pathetic, that these are the individuals that are getting hired when they have no experience in the video game industry. And I haven't really seen a lot of other reviews that, talk about how wrong this game is for having sexualized monsters. And I feel like the majority of the people talking about the game actually understand the original, so they're not complaining about the remake. But I don't think he'll be the only person to say this, though. It is funny because The Guardian is being absolutely roasted right now because of Rich Wordsworth's terrible review. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.